Hello, everyone, and welcome to my episode 1 review of Kamen Gotchard. Without further ado, let's begin with the review. So the episode starts off with a another world. We're in another world, and we see a mysterious alchemist fighting off these evil, like, our main villains of the series, these three female villains. And he has the main driver of the series, the Gotcha driver, and he also has the 101 Chemi cards. The Chemi cards are gimmicks for the main series and our main collectibles for the main toy line. And he has that in the driver, and he's fighting off our three main female villains. And he's basically, telling the main two cars, that being Hopper 1 and Steamliner, to find someone who's worthy of the power of becoming a Kamen Rider. And then the episode starts off with goes into our main character Hotaro Ichinose, and we see him. He's in his mother's restaurant. His mother owns a restaurant, and we see him making his lunch for school. And I forgot to mention, this is a school-based kind of series. So our main character, our main Kamen Rider, is a high school student. So if you're not into high school type shows or high school type series, then this is not the series for you. Personally, I love high school-based series. But yeah, our main character, Hotaro Ichinose, he makes his lunch, and he says, goodbye to his mom because he's heading to school. And we see him heading to his school. I forgot what his school's name is, but he's at school, and we see him, running in or going into school. And we see, the main teacher of the school, Minato Sensei. He, asks Hotaro that, hey, you left something blank on your card, on your essentially, your career card, that you haven't written what do you want to be on your career card. And Hotaro is like, I don't know what type of dream that I want to have or what career I want to have. And we see him just running to class, and we see him bump into one of our main female supporting characters, Kudo Renee. And Kudo's like, man, you're such an idiot. Or a first grader elementary school student knows better to run in the halls. And we see Hotaro apologize to Kudo, and Kudo just, minds her own business and continue going on to class. And we see Minato Sensei just explain that, she already has a career path because her career runs generations in her family. And Haruto, still learning the names of the characters here, so please forgive me. So Haruto goes to class, and the class is about the Renaissance period. And of course, he gets it wrong because he didn't study, and everyone in class is making fun of him. And Kudo, explains, what, the lesson of the day is, what's the lesson of the day of school, which is the Renaissance period. And of course, she aces, and, Haruto is, embarrassed. And we cut to, the locker rooms, or, where the lockers are, where in Japanese schools you have your sort of locker, or your, cubby, or whatever you want to call it in the Japanese schools, where you put your shoes and your supplies at. And we see Haruto's, school friend, Kaijiki. And Kaijiki, he's into monsters, or he's about superstitions. He's like the superstition type monster guy. And he tells, Haruto that he heard a monster that's on the loose at the school, and he makes a few sounds to get the point across. And Haruto's not listening. He's thinking about Kudo. And then he's like, I'll see you later. I gotta go. That was an interesting talk, buddy. And Kaichiki's like, okay. And so Haruto follows Kudo, and we see Kudo, is at this entrance, and she steps on these ladders, and we see her using alchemy to, open a mysterious door. And our main character Haruto is like super surprised, like, oh my gosh, what the heck's going on? She has powers? What the heck was that? And so Haruto's like dumbfounded and confused, and Haruto hears a mysterious noise coming from a different like part of the school. So he goes there, and it's all creepy at first. It's kind of like creepy and a little bit scary at first, setting up the atmosphere. And he thinks he heard a monster, so he's like, okay, I'm gonna see it. And we see our cute little Kemi guy, our cute Kemi, which is Hopper one of the main cars that Haruto will use to transform into Kamen Rider Gotchard. And so Haruto meets Hopper 1, they form a bond, and then we cut to Haruto in the park, and he's, giving, Hopper 1 some food, and Hopper 1's like, just being all cute and just going, Hopper 1, Hoppa, Hopper. And we see Hopper 1 just yelling out, Hopper! And summoning, because Hopper 1 is summoning Steamliner, one of the another main Kemi cars that Haruto will use to transform into Kamen Rider Gotchard. And his school friend, Kaijiki, sees the Steamliner, and he's like, I gotta take a picture. So he takes a picture of Steamliner, and everyone at the, the Japanese rail system are like super confused at what the heck's going on. And then we see, Haruto is like, talking to Hopper 1, and we see Kudo is at the park too. But she's like super suspicious of Haruto because he's hiding something. And we see her saying, wait, do you have a Kemi? And then Haruto's like, And then we see Steamliner freaking, on the freaking park roads, on the park, roads or, walkways, just, trying to find Hopper 1. And then we see, Kudo's like, get out of here. And so she uses her magic ring to like transform into her magic or alchemy form. And she uses, her alchemy to, try to fight Steamliner. And we get to see these attack scenes between Kudo and Steamliner. It's really cool. The CGI, yeah, it looks a bit wacky, but it has a certain charm to it. I really like the CGI. The CGI in the show was good. It was real good. But we get to see these cool attack scenes, and we see, Haruto's like, saving Kudo, and eventually, we see Haruto, gets up on top of Steamliner, and we see Steamliner taking Haruto into the other dimension where the episodes start off, and then Haruto is like, all super confused, like, where the heck am I? And we see the mysterious old alchemist from the beginning of the episode says, I'm glad you're here. You have been chosen to take this driver and become a Kamen Rider in order to protect the hopes of the future. And Haruto's like, what? And then we see our 3 main female villains are like, no, this driver will become the despair of humanity. It will become our main weapon. We want to use this to destroy the world and plunge it to darkness. And we see the old alchemist is like, run, get out of here, take the driver, get out of here. I'll fight them. You need to go. And so the old mysterious alchemist guy, is fighting off, the 3 female main villains, and he's getting really hurt really bad. And Haruto's like, I don't know what to do. And then we see the old alchemist guy says, look, I'm entrusting you with the future. You will become a Kamen Rider. And then we see, Haruto gets transported back into the real world. And we see Kudo is, back with him. And then we see Kudo is saying, what the heck happened to you? And Haruto's like, I've been entrusted with a important task. I am becoming a Kamen Rider, I think. And we see Kudo's confused, like, Kamen Rider? And then we see a portal open up, and we see the 101 Kemi cards. That's the main collectible and the main gimmick of the series and main gimmicks of the toy line, shows up in the real world, causing havoc to all sorts of humans and people. And then we see, we eventually see, our main villains come out into the real world as well. And then we see, one of the main villains, eventually finds a Kemi card, the Kama Kemi card, which is essentially the Mantis Kemi card. And we see one of the main female villains use it to transform into a monster. And then we see, Kudo's trying to fight off, the transformed villain. And then we see Haruto is like, I need to save Kudo. And so he puts on the driver, and he's like, I won't let you hurt anyone. And so we see Haruto transform, and we get to see this cool transformation. But he doesn't transform into Kamen Rider. He transforms into this grasshopper-like form, and the grasshopper form is pretty cool too. So we see Haruto fight using his grasshopper-like form to fight one of the main villains, and fight one of the villains in their monster form using the Kemi form that they stole. And that we see Haruto's, he's getting beaten up a little bit, but eventually Haruto unlocks, how to transform into his Kamen Rider form. So he transforms into a Kamen Rider form. And let me tell you something. The CGI for the Kamen Rider transformation when Haruto transforms looks fantastic. It's awesome and it looks cool. And when he transforms, it's super cool. Oh, and I forgot to mention, the opening song that will be played for the next episode, the main opening for the show, plays here in the battle scene. It won't play in the battle scenes for every episode, but it plays just for the first episode, and it's sung by one of my favorite Japanese bands, that being Back On. If you don't know what Back On is, they did the openings for the Gundam Build Fighters and the Gundam Metaverse OVA series, and they also did some couple animes openings they did. But one of my favorite bands, Back On, did the main opening theme and the main opening for Gotchard. And that's pretty cool. So we get the main opening theme playing in the fight scene. And we get to see Haruto, beating one of the villains, butts, kicking butt and, fighting for good. And we see Haruto, using his, blaster that he got. And we see him using his blaster attack. And it's pretty cool. And we see Kudo, using her alchemy to help fight with Haruto. And we see the villain is, struggling. And we see Haruto using his final rider kick, And his rider kick is that he transforms back into his grasshopper form. Punches, kicks punches and kicks, the villain. And we see him transform back into his Kamen Rider form to do the final rider kick. And that's pretty awesome too. And we see the villain is defeated. We see the female villain de-transform. And we just see Haruto getting back the Kemi card that she stole or, used to corrupt its power. And we see Haruto getting the Mantis or the Kama Kemi card. And then we see Haruto's like, I got a friend. That's cool. I got a new friend. That's cool. And then we see the villain's like, I'll drag your soul to hell the next time I see you. And we see her disappear with the rest of the female villains. And then we see Kudo's like, thank you for saving the day and all that type of stuff. And then we see Haruto's, classmate friend showing up saying, hey, Haruto, I just got a picture of the monster that I saw from the subway or, the train station or whatever. And then we get to see, another mysterious alchemist, erasing, Kaijiki's memories and deleting the photo from his phone. And Kaiji's like, wait, I could have sworn I took a picture of something. Oh, well, I'll talk to you tomorrow, Haruto. And so that happens. And we see Haruto and Kudo look at the mysterious person who erased Kaijiki memories and the photo of the monster. And it's actually Minato-sensei. He's an alchemist too. And he explains the rules that alchemists are meant to protect the world and also erase people's memories who saw the monsters or the Kemi cards. And he also says that, welcome to our world. And eventually Haruto's like, what? You're a wizard or whatever you are too? You're like Kudo too? And then the episodes end off there. And the episode shows up what's next, coming up next week, which I am going to watch episode 2 probably tomorrow. But other than that, that's pretty much it for my review of Kamen Gotchard episode 1. Pretty much while watching the episode, I had a fun time watching the episodes. I really like the school setting. I really like the characters. Yes, I am well aware that most people in the Toku community really hates Gotchard, really hates Haruto as a character, really hates the school setting, the high school setting, the writing of the show. But personally, I love the high school setting. I love Haruto as a main character. I love the suits. I love the main theme of the show. I love the opening theme. I love the visuals of the show. Personally, it's not that bad once you watch the episode at least a couple times. If you can palette through, the characters and just watch the episode in general. But other than that, I really enjoyed watching the episode, and I hope you guys enjoyed my episode 1 review of Kamen Rider Gotchard. And I will be reviewing the entire series. I am well aware that the latest episode is already out, episode 20 something or 30 something. I will get to watching those episodes when I can. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoy my episode review of episode 1. And stay tuned for more episode reviews of Kamen Rider Gotchard. And also stay tuned for my review of After War Gundam X. And I am planning on reviewing Gundam The Witch from Mercury whenever I get to watching that Gundam series. And just stay tuned for my next episode review of Kamen Rider Gotchard whenever I drop that. And I'll probably be making a video about Transformers 1, my thoughts on Transformers 1 trailer, or my thoughts on Transformers 1 in general. So stay tuned for that. And just stay tuned for more awesome content on the channel. Make sure to like and share this video. Also subscribe to the channel. By subscribing to the channel, you'll be really supporting me as a content creator and really supporting the channel. And I'll see you guys next time.